Welcome to this virtual webinar about trust-based leadership, how to create and inspire trust in leadership. The purpose of this webinar is to explore how you as a leader can get results in a way that inspires trust. Before we start, be sure you have a pen and paper ready and that you sit in a comfortable place with no distractions. My name is Elsa and I will be your virtual presenter for the next 30 minutes. I help individuals and leaders and teams to make a breakthrough by moving beyond an issue that it is struggling with. I also specialize in virtual coaching and image management, helping individuals and organizations to build a positive and authentic image and present themselves in their best possible way. I'm also the country manager for the performance coach in Denmark. The reason why I have chosen this topic is that there is a crisis in leadership at the moment. This year's Edelman Trust Barometer results shine a harsh light on today's leaders. Only about 1 in 5 respondents trust business leaders to tell the truth. And business leaders are trusted by less than 50% in 16 of the 26 markets. Also, lack of trust and transparency are reasons employers will look for new jobs, according to Deloitte's Ethic and Workplace Survey in 2010. So let's look about what is the definition of trust. If I could ask you all what is the definition of trust, everybody would have several definitions of the word trust. The most common definition is competence. But with the increasing focus on ethics in our society, the character side of trust is becoming more and more important, and also competences is equally essential. So which glasses are you wearing? Even if we have bad experience with blind trust, deep inside most of us really want to trust. And if we have blind trust, we often end up getting burned. If we have no trust, we do not even trust ourselves, and we are immobilized by insecurity and protectiveness. Clearly, although there is a risk in trusting too much, there is also a risk in not trusting too much. We could lose opportunities because of this trust. So there's a better way, and this is smart trust. Smart trust is a judgment. In other words, we lead out with trust first. We use both our head and our heart. So what does it mean is that we open up ourselves to the possibilities. When we lead out of this trust, we don't even see the possibilities. The action of high-trust individuals, teams, and organizations worldwide grow out of 3 specific beliefs about trust. The first one is the belief of being worthy of trust, the belief that most people can be trusted, and that extended trust is a better way to lead. So let's look at 5 smart trust actions that you can take as a leader. The first one is to believe in trust. The greatest and lasting dividends of trust comes only when we choose trust as our underlying approach. Start with self. It's based on the principles of responsibility and credibility. The opposite is to wait for others to change or to take responsibility. There are 2 paths to effectively declare intent: stating what we want to do and stating why we want to do it. Both are very vital. Most managers are fairly good at declaring the what, but very poor at declaring the why. When you have declared your intent, you do what you have said you will do. Walk the talk. A few trust-building behaviors could be to talk straight and to be honest, to create transparency, and be open and authentic. Also to clarify expectations. Discuss them and don't assume that expectations are clear or shared. And keep your commitments. Make commitments carefully and keep them at all costs. Don't break confidence. The reason is that it defines your brand and the company's brand. The reality is that we judge ourselves by our intentions, but others judge us by our actions. The smart trust action of extending trust is based on the principles of leadership and empowerment. The opposite is to withhold trust, attempt to control others, or try to do everything yourself. Bottom line, if we are not inspiring and extending trust, we are not leading. We might be managing, but we are not leading. We manage things and we lead people, and real leadership requires trust. So where does trust come from? Let's push the button and start the 5 waves of trust. Let's look at how powerful you can be in changing the levels of trust in any relationship, if you know how to work from the inside and out. The 5 waves of trust defines the 5 levels in which we establish trust. The first one is about credibility. Number 2 is about behavior. And number 3 is about alignment, to help leaders to create structures, systems, and symbols of organizational trust. The 4th is about reputation, and number 5 is about contribution. Let's have a look at self-trust first. I'll ask you a little bit of a question. So take your pen and paper and write your answer down. So do you trust yourself? And ask yourself, do I give to others a person they can trust? There are several ways that we can raise our self-trust and also have the credibilities. The good news is that we can increase our credibility, and we can increase it fast if we know the 4 cores and all key elements. 2 of those cores deal with character and 2 with competence. Also think about last time you lost confidence or trust in a person. Was this because of competence, or was this because of character? You can have a wonderful character but no competence, or you can have a lot of competence and no character. So maybe you know some people who have a lot of character, and you would love them, have them as look after your house and your holidays, or your cat or your children, but they have no competence, that you will not be one of the persons that you will choose for a very result-oriented job, or anything like being, you know, in a company where you have to use the competences. So let's look at integrity and intent, which is the first, has to do with the character. The other 2's capabilities and results is about competence. If we use the metaphor of a tree, integrity is the roots, and they are vital for the tree. To most people, integrity means honesty, telling the truth and leaving the right impression. But there are at least 3 additional qualities: congruence, humility, and courage. So how do we increase our integrity? Let's have a look at those 3 integrity ones that we have here on this slide. The first one is to make and keep commitments to yourself. Stand for something and be open. Core number 2 is intent. Motive is our reason for doing something, and intent is defined as plan or purpose. The agenda grows out of motive, seeking mutual benefits and seeking solutions that build trust and benefit for all. Behavior is the intent that inspires the greatest trust is acting in the best intent of others. It is easy to say I care, but it is our actual behavior that demonstrates whether or not we mean it. A study found that only 29% of employees believe that management care about them developing their skills, and only 42% believe that management care about them at all. Going back to the metaphor of the three capabilities are the branches that produce the fruit or results. Capabilities are particularly essential in today's changing economy, where technology and globalization are outdating skill sets faster than ever before. One way to think about the various dimensions of capabilities is to use the acronym TASKS: talents, attitude, skills, knowledge, and style. Talents are our natural gifts and strengths. Attitudes represent our paradigms, our way of seeing, as well as our way of being. Skills are the things that we do well, and knowledge represents our learning, insight, understanding, and awareness. Style represents our unique approach and personality. The end in mind here is to develop our task and to create the best possible alignment between our natural gifts, our passion, our skills, knowledge, and style, and the opportunity to earn, to contribute, and to make a difference. So how can we increase capabilities? The first one is to run without your strengths, also to keep yourself relevant and know where you are going. Results matters. They matter to your credibility. Returning once and again to the metaphor of the tree, results are the fruits, the tangible, measurable, and in purpose and product of the roots, trunk, and branches. There are three key indicators by which people evaluate results. We have past performance, present performance, and anticipated future performance. Given the importance of results in establishing credibility and trust, both with ourselves and with others, the question is, how can we improve our results? The first thing we can do is to take responsibility, also to expect to win and to finish strong. Now let's take a look at the other wave of trust, relationship trust. And it's all about behaviors. It is about 13 behaviors that are common to high trust leaders and people throughout the world. You can look at these behaviors as your trust account. All behavior requires a combination of both character and competence. The first one is to talk straight. Communicate clearly and be honest and call things what they are. Demonstrate respect based on the principles of respect, fairness, kindness, and love. And create transparency. Be real and tell the truth in a way that people can verify. No hidden agendas. Right and wrongs. Make restitutions instead of just apologizing. And show loyalty. Give credit to others and speak about people as though they are present. Do not talk behind people's back, and don't disclose others' private information. Competence is the definition is that it's your strengths and the results you produce. Because it is difficult to measure results, it takes time to define results upfront. By establishing a track record, making things happen, and being on time and on budget, and not making excuses for not delivering, you quickly restore lost trust on the competence side. Get better and don't be afraid to make mistakes, but learn from them. Develop formal or informal feedback system and respond to them. And confront reality. Take the tough issues head on. It is better to address the real issues right away. Clarify expectation, create shared vision and agreements up front, and don't violate expectations once they have been validated. Practice accountability, hold yourself and others accountable. Leaders generate trust do both, and other people respond to accountability. The last three things that we have in the behaviors is both about character and competence. It's about who you are and your strengths and the products and results you produce. The first thing is to listen. Understand another person's thoughts and feelings before trying to diagnose or advise. Use your eyes and your ears and don't presume you know what matters to others. Keep your commitments. People tend to see family commitments as more flexible than work commitments, but they are just as important. Make keeping all commitments the symbol of your honor. Extend trust. While the other behaviors help you become a more trusted person or manager, this behavior helps you become a more trusted leader. We have a lot of myths about trust. Trust is slow, but however, trust is hard. And it also affects both the speed and the cost. Trust is slow, but nothing is as fast as the speed of trust. Trust is built solely on integrity, but trust is both a function of both character and competence. You either have trust or you don't. Trust can be both created and destroyed. Once lost, trust cannot be restored. Though it's difficult, in most cases lost trust can be restored. And you cannot teach trust. Trust can be effectively taught and learned, and it can become a very strategic advantage. Trusting people is too risky, but not trusting people is a greater risk. And you establish trust one person at a time, but establishing trust with the one establishes trust with the many. You also see that reality is that when trust goes down, speed goes down and cost goes up. And the opposite is also that when trust goes up, speed goes up and cost goes down. So there's a very much good reason to build on trust in leadership. When we look at low trust versus high trust and the way that we do business, the difference between high trust and low relationship trust is that if we take communication, in a high trust relationship you can say the wrong things and people will still get your meaning. And in a low trust relationship you can be very measured, even precise, and you will still be misunderstood. You don't need to look far to realize that as a global society we have a crisis of trust on our hands. On the organizational level, trust within companies has sharply declined. So let's look at a low trust and a high trust basic management perspective. Several researchers claim that trust is reality check or a substitute for control. Trust is in an organization, the reliance on each other and to have common values means that there is no need for direct control. Employees become self-managing and professional pride as well as learning and coaching replaces traditional control concepts. So this is the classic description of the difference between low trust versus high trust organizations. Having this in mind, so let's have a look at 6 ways that leaders can build trust. The first one is to build a positive relationship. We are far more likely to trust those we like. We trust others that stay in touch with our issues and concerns. Take the chance to initiate conversation and meetings. Seek others' opinions on important topics and share accurate and complete information with colleagues. Transparency builds trust. And stop competing. Many people, after going through school and playing sports and going through the process of dating, have their opinion that they are in competition with others, and they bring that perspective to work. They play the one-up games, and if there is ever an opportunity to make a peer look bad, they take advantage. What a huge surprise when others don't trust him. If an individual can change their attitude from competition to cooperation, it will have a profound impact on their success. Other people find that they cooperate more, and their professional or personal performance also improves. Throw others a bone. People trust others who help them and who offers them advice, knowledge, and experience. Look for opportunities to provide assistance to other individuals and groups, and look for a chance to provide service to groups who need help. It is easy to see a group that is having problems and simply keep on walking. But you build trust when you jump in and offer assistance. Be balanced. Many leaders are so focused on achieving a goal that they fail to notice when team members have problems. Their damn the torpedoes full speed ahead attitude is so focused on achieving their goals that personal issues and concerns go unnoticed. This creates a significant loss of trust. Leaders need to be able to balance getting results with a genuine and appropriate concern for the team members' needs. Track your commitments. Carefully track the commitments you make to others. Often with good intentions, people agree to do something, but then forget the commitment. Trust comes from reliability. Accept blame and share credit. Avoid blaming others when things go wrong. Accept personal responsibility if there is a problem that involves your group, even if you are not the person who made the mistake. In the same way, be sure to share with your team any opportunities for praise and commendation for success. The value of extended trust, as we see in a whole, is that companies that choose to extend trust to their employees become great places to work. And most people respond well to trust and do not abuse it. Trust also changes the energy and the prosperity and the joy in the company. So there are many good reasons to begin to build in trust in leadership. So let's have a little learning exercise here at the end of this webinar. When you look at these 13 behaviors, take a look at it and think about what is the behaviors or the competences and also the character that you want to work with as a leader. Pick one or two and maybe take a chance to have a chat with one of your other leaders about how they see and define every one of those. It's a very good thing to do to look through all these and define what the word means to you and to your colleagues, and to take one of two and work with them in your organization. And as a learning takeout, what steps could you take to improve your character and competence, or the character and competence of your team or organization, and increase the likelihood that people will extend trust to you? Take a little while to think about that and write it down. I want to thank you for listening to this Virtual Leadership Summit, and I also recommend that you go to theperformancecoach.com and look at next time we have a seminar, and either a live one or a recorded one. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.